And this is our chin chin. See, look, it just has the perfect color. I really hope you try this recipe. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther, and today we're going to be making chin chin, and I call it a fail-proof chin chin. We have our margarine and we have our nutmeg. We have our baking powder, have our sugar. This is 1/3 cup of sugar, and you can always adjust it to your taste. We have our water, which is optional, and we have our evaporated milk. Finally, we have our egg. The egg is optional if you really want your chin chin to be very soft. These ingredients already will give you a very tasty and soft chin chin, but if you want your chin chin really soft, then you're going to use the egg. For 4 cups of flour, you should be using 1 egg. So we'll just go right into preparing the chin chin. So we're going to start by sifting our flour, all-purpose flour or plain flour. We're going to sift it, and it makes it easier to work with. We're going to be adding our sugar of nutmeg. We're going to sift it as well. Baking powder is optional. It's optional, but I'm going to be using baking powder. I added our baking powder, and that's all the dry ingredients we need. If you want to add salt, you can add a pinch of salt, but I'm using a salted margarine, so I'm not going to be adding salt. So I'm just going to crush all this. So after this, mix everything together. Remember, my hands are washed. After mixing them together and you're sure that everything has been distributed evenly, you can now add your margarine. You just add it bit by bit. You mix everything together. Sometimes people ask whether the butter should be cold or it should be put in the fridge or something. Your butter should be at room temperature. It shouldn't be a melted butter. With a melted butter, you can't get this consistency. It's not going to be good for it, so it should just be at room temperature. If you put it in the fridge, you should bring it out for it to cool, for you to be able to work with it easily. So right here, right now, you see we've achieved. You have to do this till you achieve the breadcrumb consistency. See, and you go ahead and add your evaporated milk. You add it bit by bit. Remember, this is chin chin, and like I said, I'm going to take you step by step, a fail-proof chin chin. So when you're adding your milk, or when you're adding your water, you need to be very careful, because chin chin, the dough needs to be hard, like not hard. It just needs to be somewhere in the middle. You don't need a soft dough. If you need a soft dough, you'll be tempted to spray flour. You'll be tempted to spray flour on your rolling board or rolling pin, or just to make it to stop being sticky. So you need to be careful in the liquid you add to the chin chin, to the mix, so that you don't overput liquid in it. So right here, you see that we've kneaded the dough and it has come together with just the cup of milk. I added some more milk, and I'm just going to spray tiny water. That's okay. Remember, you don't want it to be soft, you don't want it to be hard, you just want to be somewhere in the middle, so that when you're kneading it, it won't be gluing to the rolling pin. So as you can see, our dough is ready. It's not soft, not too soft, and it's not too hard. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the dough. Just allow it to sit for about 10 minutes. Yes, just for 10 minutes. If you want to put it in the fridge, you can go ahead and do that. If you're going to work with it immediately, just allow it to sit for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can work it for everything to just meet each other and reconcile with each other and just be together. So we're going to cover it right now. So right now our dough is ready, and for rolling out the dough you need your rolling pin and you need your knife or your pizza cutter. I don't know, whichever one that works fine for you. For me, the pizza cutter is easier, but if you don't have this, you can use a knife. It works very, very well as well. So I'm just going to bring our dough. I'm going to set this aside. By the way, here is washed and my hands are washed. This is my working surface, so it is washed and it is very, very neat. I need a firm place, so I transferred from the other place to this place. Need it again. So we're going to cut it. Cut this one. We're going to keep this aside and we're going to cover it so that air will not be drying up. If your dough is of the right consistency, you don't need to spray flour. Yes, so as you can see, it's not sticking to the rolling pin. It's not about the type of rolling pin, it's just making your dough right. You don't need to knead it for it to be very flat, because you need the chin-chin to be of a certain size but not too big, depending on your choice though. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the edges. And cut. So after you have cut it, you need to take it out neatly. So you're just going to be taking it out from the side. Take it one after the other. And you keep it in a flat surface, like as I'm taking. I'm keeping it here. And see, there is no flour, yet it is firm, and you can see it's not sticking to each other. Even though you may see it together, once you just bring it apart, it comes apart very, very easily. I'm going to try it again with the knife. So we get our dough and then we cut it. And we go ahead and knead it. So in case you're asking what we're going to do with the ones we cut out, trying to align it properly, you're going to bring them all together and you're going to knead them again. So our dough is ready, our chin-chin mix is ready, and it's now time for us to fry it. But there are things we need to be aware of. Now it's time for us to fry it. If we want to pick out the mix and fry, we should take it by the side. If you take it by the side like this, you pick it up like this, you won't be bothered about it smashing up together. But if you take it from up, it won't be neat. You get to fold some, it can get joined. So you take it from here one by one. And another thing to mark is that once you start frying the chin-chin, you started frying the chin-chin. Chin-chin is not something you say you want to fry, you want to go and come back. The oil will get too hot and then your chin-chin is going to burn. So once you start frying it, you're going to stay there and finish it. And another thing is, once you heat up your oil, you should first of all taste with one of the dough mix to make sure the oil is not too hot or the oil is not less hot. So you have to put it and then check, and if it fries well, if it floats, it should be able to float. Yes, it should float. Once you put your chin-chin, it should be able to float. Once it floats and it doesn't fry the outside very fast, then your oil is good to go. So all those things I'm saying, we're going to see it. I just wanted to make the point. So let's go fry our chin-chin. You want to make sure that the oil is not too hot and that the oil also is less hot. So you're going to put it on a medium heat. And the oil has been on fire for some time, so I'm going to test it with one piece of dough to know how good it is, how it is. And as you can see, our oil still remains small for it to get very hot, an adequate temperature for frying the chin-chin. So we're going to wait a little bit more. So after some minutes, our oil is ready, and I'm going to go ahead and add the chin-chin. Chin-chin needs hot oil to fry. It doesn't fry for long, and also you need to be shaking it, or you need to be stirring it. Permit me to use that word, just because I don't want the oil to hurt me. I'm going to put it in my frying spoon and then put it in the oil. The much I'm going to be taking. So you see, you need to be stirring it. Don't leave your chin-chin. You stir, you shake it up. And depending on the color you want the chin-chin to be, just know that every fried food, all these fried snacks, once you bring them down, they go one color darker. So depending on the color you want it to be, you should bring it down and then it will go one color darker. Because I didn't use flour to roll out the chin-chin, it's not going to be foaming, and my oil is not packed. It's just proportionate, Stir your chin-chin so it will not burn. Look at our oil. You see how neat the oil is. There is no flour, there was no foaming of chin, nothing. The oil is so neat, and I hope you understood everything I said. I used the paper towel to line it up so that it can absorb some oil. I'm spreading it out for it to, dry up. Please ask me questions in the comment section and I'll be very happy to answer you. And if you're a new subscriber, my name is Esther and you're welcome. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you like how I made this chin chin, please give me a thumbs up. And until next time, stay safe, stay in God. I love you. Bye.